What's up, everyone? Welcome to Yoga with Adriene. I'm Adriene, and today we have some yoga tips. So this is a question that comes up a lot. I want to tackle it today, and we're going to get started right away. So transitioning from downward dog to lunge, lunge to downward dog. However can we do it, especially quickly in a flow class or vinyasa in a way that doesn't hurt our wrists and shoulders? Let's play. So the real answer to this question is that it just takes time, right? Integrating the body, but we kind of have to know the cues and the things to pay attention to in order to grow our practice in a way in which we can do that. So what that means is we have to create a full body experience. So we can't just go straight to the downward dog here, in my opinion. We need to start with a little cat-cow to open up through the front body, to open up through the back body, to begin this conversation with the hands, which is super important for this conversation, for this question, and also with the feet. Take one more with your breath, inhaling as you drop the belly to your mat, exhaling as you draw the navel to the spine, tucking the tail. Awesome. Then curl your toes under and send it up and back to downward facing dog. Same thing, pedal it out here. And consider the space that you're creating in the side body. So you might shift the hips a little left to right. Then send your awareness to your hands. Notice if your hands are starting to come up here, if you can press into all 10 knuckles firmly. In particular, the space between your index finger and thumb. Draw the shoulder blades in and together, down the back body, create space between the ears and shoulders. These are all super important things as we work on getting that leg up and into our lunge gracefully and swiftly in time. Great, then take one more deep breath in here. This time, bend your knees, take a big inhale in, and then exhale, lower back to all fours. Awesome. If you need to take a quick rest off the wrists, please do. And then we're going to come to all fours once again. So tapping into the core is kind of the biggest thing. When taking our leg all the way up into the earth, all the way up to the sky, and then all the way up and through to the earth, we have to activate the core. It's not just about swinging that leg up and in. That's why, we end up kind of coming short, and why we end up having to use our hand, which is totally fine, and which sometimes we do for our whole life, our whole practice. But what we want to do is engage the core as much as possible. So to play with that, and again, no judgment, every body is different, so your solution to this problem or the answer to this question is going to be a little different for everyone. But let's just play, have some fun. That's the beauty of the home practice, is like we get the time and the opportunity to do this together. So we're going to play with that by lighting that fire in your belly, kind of sparking that match in the center, okay? And we're gonna let this radiate and heat up a little bit. So don't give up, stick with it, stick with me. We're gonna come to all fours. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. First things first, press away from your yoga mat. In downward dog, there's a tendency to crash into the front body. So we're gonna practice here already, pressing away from the earth, finding this yielding sensation, and then drawing the shoulders away from the ears. So if you're collapsed here, here's the example of the negatory. See if you can press away, create space, neck nice and long. Then stack knees directly underneath the hip points, press into the tops of the feet. Inhale in, exhale, lift the knees, let them hover. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the knees, let them hover. See if you can maintain the space in the shoulders. So if you're here and you're trying to lift, I have no power there. It sucks so bad. So maintain the space you created here and lift the knees. Breathing out, lower as you breathe in. Let's do two more. Exhale, lift. Doesn't have to be a big lift here, y'all. Just nice and low. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, draw the navel up, lift the knees. This time stay here. Notice that shake, that heat, that prana that starts to flow. And we feel like, okay, From the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone, I'm alive and awake. And I'm pressing up and out of my foundation, cultivating all this energy in my center, gathering it up in my core to create a full body experience. Great, slowly release, curl the toes under, take a seat back and rest. Whoo, shake it off. Maybe massage the wrists, rotate one way and then the other. And then we'll return to all fours. So that same integration of the center, of the core energy, is now what we're gonna bring our awareness to in downward facing dog. So we'll come back to all fours. When you're ready, send the hips up high, nice and long in the side body. Now, same thing that you did on all fours, press away from your yoga mat. So you can bend the knees and literally look forward, press away. Bend the knees as generously as you need to here, and then engage the belly. Draw the navel up towards the spine. Great, from here, we'll lift the right leg up high. See if you can notice your lower belly kind of growing soft here. And see if you can hug the lower ribs in, engage the belly, just like you did in hovering table. Great. From here, bend the right knee, squeeze it in. We're back to that hovering table here as you hover. Cultivate all this energy in the core. From here, send it back, three-legged dog. Now, rather than thinking about stepping your right foot up and into your lunge, think about moving your center of gravity up towards the front edge of your mat. Draw a big line all the way up and over with your center. So my center is moving and my leg is just following. And then I'll step it up and in. I'm on the ball of my back foot. This is as far as Adriene, made it. Maybe you made it this far. Maybe you made it this far. Just notice how far you made it. And then we'll lower the back knee and come up off the wrist for a second. So you might be like, well, I already knew that, connect to my center, but it's that practice. It's like slowing it down and actually thinking about what's moving here. Am I trying to just task master, bring my right foot up, or can I lead with my center? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Can I cultivate this energy in the belly so that I'm actually taking my center forward and the leg just comes to follow? Let's try on the other side. Plant the palms, step the right toes back, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Go through your checklist. Foundation, that action of drawing the shoulders away from the ears, pressing away from the earth. Then when you're ready, lift the leg up high. Bring your awareness, cultivate energy to your center. This radiating ball of light right here, navel to spine. Or maybe by the solar plexus, just above. Then squeeze the left knee up and in. Hover here. Remember that hovering cat-cow. Whoo-hoo-hoo, awakening, full body. Then take it all the way back up. Then here we go. We're going to imagine taking our center of gravity all the way forward. Think up and over. Center is moving forward. Center first. Leg just comes to follow. And then I'll step it up. Oh, great. Just notice where you made it today. Smile. Lower the back knee. Come off the wrist. So really paying attention to the alignment, kind of that action and alignment marriage, so that you're creating a full body experience, so that you're not just trying to sling one body part up to the front of your mat for the lunge, but rather moving as one connected part, right? So rather than all these parts, one moving part. Okay, we'll plant the palms, curl the toes under, send it back one more time, downward facing dog. One thing that I think really helps with this transition for me, and this just overall integration of core to my limbs and moving as one moving, breathing part, is these downward dog to plank hurdles. Now, these can be, you can take a break for a second. These can be kind of tough if you're new to the practice because they're very strengthening. They do rely on upper body, bodybuilding. But I love them because for that very same reason, they're not just about building strength in the arms. It's really about cultivating strength from the soles of your feet all the way through the awareness of the crown. So this is how it goes. We'll just do a couple and then you can practice on your own. We'll come to downward facing dog. Go through your checklist. Find your breath. Press away from your yoga mat. Careful not to lock the elbows. A little soft buoyancy here is helpful. Then soften in the knees. Speaking of buoyancy, find a little bounce here. Come onto the toes and lift the hips up high. Draw a line with your center all the way up and over as if it were climbing or jumping over a hurdle, soaring over a hurdle. Then you might have to widen your alignment here so you come to a nice plank. Breathe in. Then same thing, draw a line with your center. So imagine if I had a big flashlight hanging from my navel here, a little bell. You would see it travel up and over. Don't worry about getting the heels down here. Worry about, am I moving from my center, up and over. Great full body strengthener. To plank, then up and over, back, downward facing dog. Engage, navel to spine. And back. Holy schmoly, let's do one more. Navel draws in and up. To plank, and in and up, draw a line, back up and over the hurdle. Downward facing dog. Great, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out as you lower the knees. And shake it off. So that attention to detail in the action alignment, that creating space in the downward facing dog, literally in the side body, in the shoulders, finding that inner spiral of the thighs. You can go check out the foundations of downward facing dog to go a little more in depth there. And then again, just thinking about if you can move from your center. Moving from your center so that the center is moving actually first and then the leg comes to follow. Your leg might not get all the way up when you're moving from your center. So you need to be where your body is at today. You need to be with your body and be on your own team. And if that's the case and it only comes to here and you're moving with your center, take your hand, gracefully step the foot up. Yeah? Cool. So together we're working on transitions. We'll do more yoga tips, more transitions as the weeks grow long. Free video, yoga videos every Wednesday. I love it when people ask questions. I love that we're having a conversation. You know, I always say that, you know, this channel is what it is because of the conversation that we're having. Makes it special, makes it different. And it really inspires me and hopefully inspires you to actually keep returning to your mat to have an actual experience and instead of this whole, you know. So awesome work, everyone. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the conversation. I'll see you next week. Take good care. Namaste.